I wonder what grade you would give
A
your economy.
plus.
A plus.
Yeah, A plus 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 plus.
So, no more woke fonts, Andy.
Dude, I saw that and I didn't pull it, but yeah, there was it Marco Rubio is pulling the what is it, Calibri or whatever.
Calibri. It's
Yeah,
the it's the one that helps visually impaired people read.
yeah,
So,
he said it was like woke DEI stuff, and then if you read the article, it turns out like they changed it to that because exactly like you said, like people that have dyslexia and different visual issues, like Calibri is easier for them to read than Times New Roman or something like that.
yeah, but those people are woke, so we're not gonna
That's
it's woke trying to help other people in
that's
any aspect.
That's one of those where it's like, this is just cruel. Like, what MAGA person saw that and was like, yes, fuck Calibri. Like, we're going back to Times New Roman. Like, I don't know who got excited about that.
Oh, woke font. That's so dumb.
Fine, it's so stupid. By the way, and I'm not prepared to talk about it at all, but there is a whole scandal going on at Oklahoma University. And I ended up talking to somebody about it tonight. The gist of it is there was a girl who turned in an assignment. The assignment was like, she was supposed to cite her sources and blah blah blah, and she didn't. She didn't cite any sources, and she just relied on the Bible. And she was like, "Well, the Bible says that blah 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 blah." So she
Yep.
got a zero on the paper, and then it turned into a whole thing. This girl has been on Fox News a couple times this week. The Oklahoma State Legislature like gave her an award, and it turns out that her mom she was a lawyer for some of the January 6 people. She had a MAGA podcast that basically didn't ever go anywhere. So like this was a setup. Like they did this on purpose to get attention. Like she wants to be the next Riley Gaines. Anyhow,
Oh,
yeah, like so she's all over the news here in Oklahoma. And it's apparently every other academic that has looked at her paper has said like, yeah, she deserves a zero. She didn't cite a single source, and that was the whole assignment.
right. And
So she's trying to say like, oh, because I cited the Bible, they gave me a zero, and it's like, no, you didn't even cite the Bible. Like clearly
re
you were, anyhow,
religious expression. But what was this paper on?
something to do with gender and how kids express gender at a young age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
but it turns out the teacher is trans, so it seems like her mom and her, it seems like they manufactured this to make her daughter into a star.
100%.
Yeah, so everybody
Riley
wants.
Gaines is annoying. We don't need another Riley Gaines.
You know what I didn't know till just recently, but like the way that Riley Gaines talks, you would assume she barely lost to Leah Thomas, the trans swimmer, right? Like she got
Yeah.
second, and if it wasn't for Leah Thomas, she would have got first. That's the way that everybody tells it, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, she got fifth. Like,
She didn't even get second?
no, she got fifth. If
Okay.
Leah Thomas hadn't been in that race, she still wouldn't have been on the podium. She would have been in fourth. And I just
Oh.
learned this recently. I thought this whole time I thought she got second and barely lost. If not for Leah Thomas, she would have gotten first. No, she got fifth in that race.
I want to know what the second place person says.
You know, the second place person hasn't been on Fox News, so I have no clue. Apparently, they don't want to make a big deal out of it. So, anyhow,
Riley
just
Gaines. So
yeah,
she wouldn't even been on the podium if the other girl was
she
on
got
there.
fifth in that race. So,
The funny
I
thing is Riley Gaines' name is more familiar than the winner. I don't even know her name.
Leah Thomas, yeah. Well, Leah
Leah.
Thomas isn't. She's not seeking. Yeah, she's not seeking the spotlight like Riley Gaines is. Riley Gaines is trying to make a career out of this. So she's
Uh,
defending women in sports, and which I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. Um, Hey, I wanted to start off real quick by just a little bit of momentum here. Like, do you remember like 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when everything the Republicans were doing was working and Trump was just on a roll? Like,
sure.
things have
Well, it
just,
wasn't working. Hold on. It wasn't working. It was they were just pushing stuff through.
and
Nothing
they're
was actually working.
okay, but their base was thrilled. They were getting things accomplished. Like not legislatively, but he was doing things to make the base
He was
happy and the
signing
base was happy.
executive orders. How many
Yeah.
executive orders has he signed?
I don't know, a lot. He has the only thing they've done legislatively is the big beautiful bill, which turns out probably isn't going to be that good a deal. But overall, like for a while there, the first 6 months of the Trump administration, like they were on a roll as far as they were concerned. Like they were high fiving and having a good time. And
Sure.
dude, it's gone downhill so fast for them. I don't know if you saw tonight, the Indiana Senate rejected the redistricting, which Trump had been threatening them. I read one of their tweets in the past show or two, but Trump was threatening them that if they didn't pass this new map to give him an extra two seats, like he was going to primary all of them. It didn't pass, and it wasn't even close. Like a lot of Republicans voted against it, and they asked him about it tonight in the Oval Office. I didn't pull the clip, but he was like, "Ah, well, I wasn't really that involved in that whole thing." And it's like bullshit, dude. Like anyhow, so that we're gonna get into the podcast wars in a second, but I have to ask before that: did you see the finale of South Park last night?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I
Okay,
do have it's 218 executive orders,
okay.
55 memorandas, and 112 proclamations.
Ooh, speaking of him doing executive shit, tonight, are you familiar with the lady Tina Peters that's in jail in Colorado for she tried to get into the Dominion voting machines or whatever to prove that there was fraud.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
accessed a bunch of stuff she wasn't supposed to. Trump has been trying to like call for her to be released from jail, but she's in jail on state charges, so Trump
Hmm.
cannot pardon her. Tonight, he did a big post on Twitter just like an hour ago where he announced he's officially pardoning her, and MAGA's like celebrating that he pardoned her, but it's like they're state charges. He can't pardon her, so like nobody really knows what he's up to right now. Like
So
that
he's just
pardon means nothing.
so he wants to pardon her because she was trying to change the vote.
She was trying to uncover all the fraud that
Mm,
they stole the election. She was trying to uncover it, and they locked her up because she was just about to find all the evidence, is what Trump would say.
yeah,
But anyhow,
sure.
so he's going to try to. I think he demanded to your governor in Colorado just in the last couple of weeks that he release her, and your governor said no, we're not releasing her. She was found guilty. So tonight, Trump pardoned her, which everybody's kind of like, you can't like that's not it's not a federal charge. You can't pardon her for that. So I don't know where he's going with that, but
Okay. He's
yeah,
probably going to bring it to the Supreme Court and try and make it that he can pardon anybody at any
probably
level.
so. If,
Yeah.
if they say that pardons work on state charges, that's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
anyhow, I won't spoil the episode for you. But it was just at one point I got a kick out of last night's episode. But at one point, like there's clearly two sides. There's the good side that everybody's rooting for, and there's the bad side. And on the good side is like Stan. And you remember like years ago there was a Christmas episode where it was the woodland critters, I think is what they were called, and they were all like little friendly looking animals,
Oh
but it
yeah,
turns
yeah.
out they were like demonic. They
Yeah, totally.
return. They return, but they're on the good side. It's Stan and them and Satan all on one side, and then it's Trump and JD and Peter Thiel and Hegseth and Jesus on the bad side.
Oh
So
Jesus.
yeah, Jesus. I don't know if you saw in the last episode, but Jesus has made a shift. He is now like MAGA Christian, like
Oh yeah.
trailer park Christian to a degree. So
Yeah.
Jesus is now a bad guy and Satan's a good guy. It's the weirdest phenomenon, but it was it was a
I'm
very
excited
good
to watch that.
it was a
Yeah.
very good episode. And then if you'll give me 5 minutes on this, we talked a little bit about this last time, but it's being called the podcast wars. It's not a real war, but everybody in the right wing like podcast sphere is sniping at each other. There are so many fights going on, and what's funny is I'll skip to the end here, but they're all really mad at Trump. Like they're mad because they're seeing every day that goes by they have less and less a chance of winning the House or even the Senate, it looks like, in the midterms. And they're mad and they're blaming each other. And it's like it's Trump's fault. Like clear Trump is the reason y'all aren't going to win the midterms, but
Yeah.
nobody has the balls to say that, so they're blaming each other for it.
That's awesome.
And the best of it, and there's like Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is feuding with everybody. Tucker Carlson had him on like a month ago, and they seem to get along just fine. And now Fuentes is taking shots at Tucker Carlson left and right. But Tim Pool and Candace Owens has been by far the best. Um, I think Tim Pool started it. I'm not sure who started it, but I did pull just because this is hysterical to me. I pulled two clips, one of Tim Pool and then one of Candace responding to Tim Pool. Humor me for 1 second. Tim Pool, this is like a roid rage type situation where he's just losing it. And also, he announced the other day that they're going on hiatus December 19th, and apparently they're bleeding money. Like they don't have the money to continue, so it might be
Because
the
we're not
end.
getting that Russian money anymore.
Exactly. And it's when I read something, and I don't know if they could ever prove this, but it seems like in the lead up to the election, for like the 6 or 8 months before the election, there were some billionaires, I'm going to guess Musk and Thiel and Zuck, whoever, that were pumping money into these right wing Twitter shows, probably Rogan too, honestly.
Yeah.
But they were pumping to help Republicans win the election. And then as soon as the election was over, that money dried up. They stopped pumping it in there.
And Temple, with that money, he went out and built a compound with like a skate park and
Hmm.
like apparently
Yeah.
they were eating sushi every day. And they
It's a
live in
little,
like West Virginia or something like
well,
that.
He's mad. He's been saying that everything Candace is doing is going to cost them the midterms. When really it's Trump that's going to cost them the midterms. But here's a clip of Tim Pool, and I will say this: if anybody for any reason is watching this with a child present, probably better skip past this because Tim Pool drops some naughty words here. But here is Tim Pool talking about Candace Owens.
Oh, great.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
He's amped up there, isn't he?
Yeah, what did Candace do?
So this is not the first shot back and forth, okay? We're picking this up mid-fight.
Okay.
Candace has all her theories about who really killed Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Egyptians, the French, the Israelis, you name it, she thinks they killed Charlie. The government, she now thinks TPUSA was involved. His best friends betrayed him. She keeps alluding to Erica Kirk. His wife had something to do with it. So she's out there, is all I'm going to say. Like, she's got some wild theories. I think that Tim Pool initially basically called her out and was saying that she was hurting the Republican brand by having all these crazy theories. And then she keeps Go ahead.
But crazy conspiracy theories is kind of the Republican brand at this point.
Nick Fuentes, like what's sad is the biggest voices on the right now are Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you got Alex Jones, you got
no, I'm telling you, Alex Jones is not a big player in the right wing anymore. Like, he's been overshadowed. Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens are kind of the biggest voices right now online.
Bannon, QAnon. I mean, this is all crazy. These are all crazy people with conspiracy theories.
Not all Republicans are into this stuff, for the record. There's a lot of Republicans that are Trump voters that have no clue any of this is going on. But there's a substantial portion of the MAGA voters who are paying attention to all this online. So you're correct for a portion of them. What kills me real quick, Candace Owens, have you ever been in an argument with somebody like, here, let me backtrack a little bit. I used to work in retail, okay? And I used to teach my clerks that when a customer would come in, it's every now and then customers just come in and they're just mad. They're mad about something that happened earlier this morning or whatever, and they want somebody to yell at. And more than anything, they want you to come to their level and start yelling back at them. Like, that's what they want. And the easiest way to drive that person insane is to not give that to them. Like, the louder and the more they yell, just smile and go, "I'm sorry, sir." Like, it drives people fucking nuts to do that. And that's if ever anybody gets irate with me, that's my favorite trick, is to just get really calm and smile at them, because God, it drives people off the wall. Totally. Candace has been doing that to Tim Pool. Okay. So this, like I said, this isn't the first back and forth. But check out Candace's response real quick. This is the tone of how he's yelling at her and calling her the C word and all kinds of stuff. This is how Candace is responding.
So a November 2025 study found that 20.1% of self-identified MAGA Republicans agreed strongly or very strongly with the QAnon central mythology that U.S. institutions are controlled by a global rising of Satan-worshipping pedophiles.
Was that 20% of Republicans or 20% of MAGA identifying people?
MAGA Republicans.
Okay. So that's 36%, 35 or 36% of the country is MAGA Republicans. So 20% of them, I don't know how to do that math. So
it's like 5%.
It's still a decent chunk of the population. Like, it's not huge, but it's a decent chunk. So anyhow, check out Candace's calm response to Tim Pool real quick.
All right.
He is a fundamentally weak man for what he did there. He should apologize. He won't. I don't care what happens to his platform. He's now essentially trying out because he's under financial pressure. He's trying out for a Zionist to pay him, and they will. Okay, they will cut him a check, and I hope that happens for you, Tim. I hope it makes you happy. But to do that to someone who has never done anything to you other than disagree with you, about the Charlie Kirk narrative. I have not focused my content on you, and anytime your name has come up, it has been because you have explicitly been attacking me. You are a coward. You are less than a man. Okay? You are behaving. Your type right there is like a person who's having financial issues and yet decides to go out and put 100K on a poker game. And when he loses and is a further 100K in the hole, comes back home and beats his wife and kids and thinks he's a tough guy. That's how you're acting right now. I'm not your wife. I'm not your kids. Get your affairs in order and stop blaming me, because I'm actually traversing down the path that hasn't been traveled by standing up and saying that something corrupt happened and Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't care about your midterms. Okay. I don't care about your next year midterms and whether or not the Republican Party is united. Okay. Because I don't want to stand next to people that would cover up Charlie Kirk's assassination. I hope that I have made my point perfectly clear.
I'll bet when he watched that, he probably punched a wall when he watched that.
Probably.
I guarantee you. So I'm so infatuated with this whole deal right now. Like I said, this isn't the only fight. There's fighting across the spectrum on the right now, and I'm loving it. And a lot of it is Candace and Nick Fuentes that are the two that are kind of being the wedge. I love it. I hope it keeps happening. Dysfunction on the right. Let's see if we can stretch this all the way up to the midterms, please.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good with it. Also, Nancy Mace and Marge are attacking Mike Johnson, and they're saying that Mike Johnson is the reason they're going to lose the midterms because Congress isn't doing anything. Mike Johnson is doing exactly what Trump wants him to do. They should really be calling out Trump, and Marge is to a degree. Nancy Mace doesn't have the balls to do it, but it's funny because there's all this sniping and blaming each other when nobody has the balls to just say it's Trump. Trump is fucking up right now, and he's got time to correct. He really the midterms are still a ways away. He has time to right the ship. He's not going to do it because nobody's putting the blame on him. It's pretty hysterical if you ask me. So, hey, I did uncover a mystery real quick. Remember the FIFA Peace Prize?
Yeah.
We wondered where did this come from? How it's their first annual FIFA Peace Prize. Why did this happen? I figured out why this happened.
Oh. U.S. moves to drop charges in international soccer corruption case.
So
okay.
There were two FIFA executives that were charged with a big case. They were going to get in trouble. And Trump got the Peace Prize, and now we are dropping charges on those two FIFA executives.
Of course.
Is that not par for the course?
Do you think there'll ever be another FIFA Peace Prize given?
And not unless they get in legal trouble again. Maybe Trump will charge somebody again next year so he can get the second annual FIFA Peace Prize.
Do you think that Trump... Yeah, so he's going to get 4 Peace Prizes.
He just has to keep charging them every year with something, so they bribe him to get out of it.
Do you think Trump is actually happy with getting this Peace Prize?
Do I think Trump is?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's thrilled. You saw the look on his face when he was putting the medal on himself.
He did seem pretty happy.
He was thrilled.
But I mean, it's just made up. There's got to be something in his mind that thinks no, because he how many golf tournaments have you won that?
He loves it. It says
as long as it shows that he won some fake award, he's fine with it.
Think so.
He doesn't have to actually win it.
Even in his first term, people were walking around Mar-a-Lago, and there were framed covers of Time magazine with Trump on it, all over Mar-a-Lago.
That's right.
And then somebody figured out these are all fake. He wasn't on the cover of Time this many times. He just was making them and putting them up in Mar-a-Lago so people would think oh, look how many times Trump has been on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh my God, he's a sociopath.
Yes. And real quick, this is interesting. Hernan Lopez, a former Fox executive and Argentine sports marketing company, were convicted in 2023 of bribing officials to secure broadcasting rights. So says they were already convicted, but we're dropping the charges. I'm confused on that. Maybe he's pardoning them. I don't really understand it. But either way, it's so openly corrupt that it's hysterical. He could have at least waited a couple months to where we forgot about the FIFA Peace Prize. The FIFA Peace Prize just happened 7 to 10 days ago, right? And now he drops all the charges against the FIFA executive. So
it's blatantly corruption. I mean, this guy, this is so frustrating. This is just frustrating. That's all this is.
It's just dumb. Sorry, I got one other quick one. Speaking of dumb, Trump has claimed on numerous occasions that like he's the reason we have 5G. Like he was the leader in the 5G thing, and now 6G is about to come out.
Wasn't 5G supposed to give us cancer or something?
Yeah, QAnon people were all worried about 5G, but Trump keeps trying to claim credit, almost like he invented 5G. Somebody asked him, I think it was just yesterday, about 6G coming out. I want you to listen to his answer, and I want you to tell me if he knows what 5G is based off his answer to this question. Check this out.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done, and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna. But I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh?
It's coming.
Does he think it's like
I think he's confusing megapixels with 5G. I think. Doesn't it seem he talked about looking deeper into someone's skin, and then he said, "I like the cameras the old way, where you couldn't see every little." He didn't say this. He didn't say this exactly. What he was saying was, "I like the cameras where you couldn't see every little blemish on your skin and all that." Is what he was trying to say.
right?
But I think he thinks 5G is megapixels. I think.
Have you noticed that like in the White House, all like there's no lighting, there's no side lighting. It's all directly pointed on top of his bright white hair.
So I was watching, and I think it was on Fox the other day, and they were showing him, and I can't remember what room he was in, but his skin looked like comically gold. Like, you know how they call him Orange Man, but like his skin was like so orange and gold that I was like, is my TV messed up, or like what's going on? So I flipped to CNN, and it was the same way, and I was so confused. And then I saw a couple other podcasters were commenting where like they're using some kind of yellow light. I guess they think that makes him look better, but it makes him just look orange as hell. Remember Austin Powers Goldmember? Like that's all I kept thinking about. But like they're using really terrible lighting on him where it's not complimenting him at all. You'd think they'd have somebody in the White House who would understand how lighting works.
Actually, they might, and it might actually be helping him, and he just looks like dog shit without it.
Maybe it could be a lot worse.
Right?
But yeah, he looked really orange for like 2 meetings in a row. He was super orange, and then it went back to normal. So
I mean,
don't know.
because you see him sometimes without all of his makeup on, and he looks pale as fuck. He's just like a white old man.
Well, and even in that 5G clip, I don't know if you noticed, but now whenever he's sitting at a desk, he sits with his left hand over his right hand. You know, his right hand has all that bruising. He sits like that all the time now, where he's covering his right hand so you can't see the bruising.
Okay.
There's a lady that's a Democrat in the House. And she finally said the thing that everybody's whispering, but apparently there's this Alzheimer's medication that they have to give you through infusions into your hand right there that also makes you sleepy. And like if you read all the things that this medication does, it makes a lot of sense. And apparently a lot of people have been whispering that that's what's happening with Trump is he's on this Alzheimer's medication.
That's interesting.
There's no proof to it whatsoever, and some people are mad that she said it out loud. It's being whispered, but there's no evidence. Anyhow, that's just one of those things.
He's just gonna slowly die, and we're just gonna have to watch it without any explanation or anything. We're never gonna know exactly what his medical history is. It's just gonna slowly fade.
You know who Dave Smith is, libertarian.
Yeah.
He had his podcast the other night was titled like Trump is getting pathetic or something along those lines was the title of it. And it was just an hour and a half of him. And so there were so many good parts I wanted to pull, but he was basically saying like right now you're getting a chance to see like what podcasters are truly principled and which ones aren't. Because anybody at this point that's acting like this is going well is lying to you. Like, and he did it, but then he did a whole thing where he was saying that he was like Trump is slowly dying right in front of our eyes. Like the man's clearly not in good health. And it was interesting because Dave Smith was really pumping Trump in the last election, and he is 100% off the bandwagon now. He says this is the only thing he was happy about is securing the border. Everything else has been a complete failure, according to him. So, anyhow, I got one more just super quick one, and then we're going to move on. But you remember when Trump was trying to get all the Epstein stuff to go away? Everybody's talking about Epstein. Podcasters, the news, the people in the streets. And then they asked Trump about it, and he's like, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? I can't believe anybody's even still talking about this. And he seemed just so out of touch. It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's talking about this. Well, they asked him a follow-up on the boat strikes the other day, the double tap, and if he had decided if he was going to release the video or not. Check out his response. It's eerily similar.
Secretary Hexon told you why he hasn't released the video of the second strike.
No, he hasn't told me. I thought that issue was dead. You're surprised you bring it up. You must be CNN.
Lawmakers are still
Are you
talking about
CNN?
it on the Hill.
Are you CNN?
I am with CNN.
Oh, gee, I'm shocked to find out.
But lawmakers are still talking about it on the Hill.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about lawmakers. Which lawmakers you're talking about?
Just the Democrats have been talking about trying to release
I
it.
mean, the people that you work for, the Democrats? You know you work for the Democrats, don't you? You're basically an arm of the Democrat Party. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Good job. Thank you guys.
He said, I thought that issue was dead. I can't believe you're even asking me about it. And he tried to say only the Democrats. No, several Republicans are still talking about it and want answers. Like, they're not done with this. So,
No.
anyhow, yeah.
These are things, I mean, I feel like Epstein's kind of slowed down a little bit right now, but they have until the 19th.
The 19th. And so the Democrats are requesting an audit because they think that some of the files have been tampered with. And apparently some Republicans are joining with them in that. So anyhow, we haven't even seen anything yet. And it's starting to look like they're setting up a lot of reasons why it's not going to be released on the 19th. And it's one of those where, like, Congress has officially passed a bill that now the DOJ has to turn it over. But if the DOJ just says no, like in Trump's first term, there were several times where like Trump would do something. And it's like, he can't do that. But then it was like, what's the punishment if he does do that? Oh, there is no punishment. Like, he just has to do it. Nobody ever thought that the president wouldn't follow the Congress. And we're in one of those situations again where, like, if the DOJ just says, no, we're not giving it to you, like, there's not any mechanism to force them to do it. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So this is setting up a weird, we'll see. We'll see what they give. Republicans are going to have to get pissed about it if they don't give enough or give any. And who knows if they will or not. But that's kind of where it's at right now, is like, if the DOJ just tells them to go screw themselves, all they could really do would be then file a criminal complaint to the DOJ on the DOJ. The DOJ is not going to do shit about that. Like, that's all you can really do.
Okay. So there's a good chance we just don't see it, or we see some shortened version of it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be anything to make anybody happy. I'll tell you that. So,
But doesn't that just look really? It's going to look worse if they release the whole thing, right? Unless because if he says no, I'm not releasing anything.
if
They
they
just don't release it. It looks bad, and his people will turn against him. But if he releases stuff and his name's all over it, like it's been reported on, and all of his buddies get thrown in jail because of it, like,
at this point, he's clearly hiding and trying to not release the Epstein files. Like, if he says no, I'm not releasing it, how much worse could it really get for him? Like, I think that it's already baked in. Like, I don't know that he would lose any additional support for it. Like, the people that are still with him clearly don't care about that. So maybe it wouldn't hurt him any more than it already has to just say no, I'm not doing it. Yeah, it's a weird place we're in right now, man.
very weird.
Yeah. So,
And the thing is he's setting a precedent so that other presidents can do exactly what he's doing right now. So we're gonna have to, like, if let's just say the Democrats win 2026 and then they win 2028, and we've got a full majority, we're gonna have to pass laws to keep the president accountable.
yeah.
And that's the only way we can do that. And we're gonna have to pump up the Supreme Court with like another 10 justices or something.
I'm not for that at all. I'm just really the whole pack in the court thing. I'm not for.
Yeah, but they stole 2 of them. Are you for that?
No, I'm not. But the problem with that is the Democrats. I'm trying to remember. They would have to add 4, I think, to get what they want. But then if they do that, then we've established a precedent. And then the next time a Republican wins, they're going to add 3 or 4 more. Then before you know it, we're going to have 30 Supreme Court justices. Like, it's kind of. It's not, if the Democrats.
It doesn't seem like a bad idea.
I'm just saying, if the Democrats pack the court, it's not going to end with them doing that. They're going to do it, and then the Republicans, and then it's just going to keep going. And I'm kind of not a fan of that. I don't. What I would say is I don't think any judge in America, Supreme Court, district judge, federal judge, none of them should be lifetime appointments. That's the biggest thing. We have judges on the Supreme Court and on just random courts all across America that are 85, 90 years old that shouldn't still be deciding cases, and they are. So I don't know if there should be an age cutoff or maybe a time like you get 10 years from the date you're appointed or something like that. That's the answer to this. The whole life, there should be no such thing as a lifetime appointment for anything, politics or anything else. Lifetime appointments make no sense. Eventually, you're going to have a 90-year-old person that's drooling on themselves in that job, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I agree with you on that.
yeah. So the other thing that keeps happening that is quite awesome, if you ask me, but terrible for Trump and Republicans, is all the off-year elections that have happened this year. The Democrats have flipped 25 Republican seats to Democrat. The Republicans have flipped 0 Democrat to Republican. They've held a couple seats. Even in the ones they've held, like one of the ones recently, Trump won the seat by 22 points, and then the person that held the seat only won it by like 8. So there's about a 14-point swing in every district is what it looks like. Miami just elected its first Democrat mayor in 30 years.
And it's a woman.
Oh yeah, and we had our first. They're calling it a dummy mander. You know how Trump is gerrymandering, like in Texas, to get 5 more seats or whatever it is. In Georgia, they gerrymandered because they did exactly what Trump wanted them to do, and one of those seats has already gone up for election, and they lost it. And it was one that they tried to make it to where it was 0 Democrats in a certain area, and they made it too close. So it's a seat that would have comfortably been a Republican seat, but because they changed the districts around, they lost it. So that's where we're at right now. 25 Dem flips, 0 Republican flips. And then on top of that, and people are using the phrase, Congress is now asserting itself. I don't know if I'd go that far, but like we just had the Indiana Republicans tonight say no, they're not going to redistrict in a flat out defiance to Trump. That wouldn't happen 5 months ago, but Trump's weak right now and it happened. Congress, the new NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, it is out. And so I'm a fan of a lot of this, and I know there's a lot of people that don't think we should spend any more money in Ukraine. I've been long on record that we promised Ukraine in 1994 that if Russia ever invaded them, we would have their back. I feel like we should live up to that. But key points. In Syria, we're entering the Caesar Act, sanctions on Assad's government. I don't care about that one way or another. But in Ukraine, we're providing $400 million for this year, 2026, and another $400 million in 2027. Trump has been trying to cut them off and say he's not going to send any more money. Congress is daring him to veto this. They're saying, no, we're giving 400 this year and 400 next year. In the Asian Pacific, fully funds the $1 billion Taiwan Security Cooperation Initiative. Trump had been saying that he was going to basically not have Taiwan's back if China tried to invade, which everybody thinks we're always 1 or 2 years away from China invading Taiwan. Trump has acted like, why would we get involved? Congress is saying we're gonna step in there. Directs the Pentagon to create a joint drone and uncrewed systems program with Taiwan. Keeps about 28,500 U.S. troops stationed in South Korea. So awesome there. In Europe, preventing U.S. troop levels in Europe from dropping below 76,000 for more than 45 days. Trump has been acting like he's going to pull all the troops out of basically Eastern Europe. The ones that are there to protect Europe from an invasion of Russia, he's acting like we're just going to pull out. Congress made a limit where we're going to keep at least 76,000 there. Wow. They also repealed the 91 in 2002. It's called the AUMF, but the Authorization of Military Force. That's basically all presidents, Biden, Obama, Trump, they all use that AUMF from 2002. Whenever we blow something up in Iran or whatever, we say, oh, well, no, Congress already authorized us. They authorized us in 2002. They should have to read that when Congress grants a war power, they should be like a 5-year limit. Every 5 years, they should have to go back and revote on it. Every president's been operating off the 2002 one for the past 23 years. So they officially ended that. So if Trump wants to strike anywhere in the Middle East now, he needs to go back and get Congress's approval, theoretically. He's probably not going to listen to him. And then this is the one part that Trump's going to love. Allocates $1 billion to anti-narcotic operations, including maritime trafficking prevention. Seems like that's blowing up boats in the Caribbean, if I'm reading.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Huh. On the
anyhow,
same note, I was talking to a lady from the Czech Republic the other day. Um, and she was talking about how there are Czech people going over to Ukraine helping fight against Russia right now.
mhm.
Also, like the entire EU is just building their forces up left and right because they know that Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine, and he wants the entirety of Europe at this point.
And that's
So
I don't. So here's the thing. I don't know that he wants the entirety of Europe. Like I really, people talk about like, oh, he could be marching on Paris one day. Like, I think Putin really wants the former Soviet Union back, and that includes a lot of Eastern Europe. That includes Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, the Czech
if he
Republic
does
would be
that,
one of them.
what's going to stop him from going further?
I see what you're saying. Is everything that Putin's ever talked about, he thinks that the collapse of the Soviet Union is the worst thing that's ever happened to Russia. And it seems like he's intent on rebuilding what was the former Soviet Union. Those are the countries he would be going after. Now, like you said, people from the Czech Republic, people from Poland especially are going in and helping Ukraine right now because they know that Ukraine is what stands between them and Russia. Because theoretically, people think if Putin wins in Ukraine, he's immediately going to turn his sights on either Poland or they're called the three Baltic states, but it's Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. Um, it'd be one of those would be the next target he would go after. So, and
Sure.
he would have a little bit of trouble with Poland. It'd be kind of like Ukraine. It would take him a while, but he could get it done. Those three Baltic states he could get in a flash. The issue is we let those three states join NATO. He's very pissed about that. But
Right.
Article 5, an attack on one is an attack on all. So if he decides he's going to take Lithuania, like he could take it in a day. But if they declare Article 5, which they definitely would, now every NATO country has to come there to defense. And that's World War III. Like that. If he invades one of those three countries, he's daring NATO to start World War III. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like that sounds like I want to honor Article 5, but also World War III sounds like it would suck. And I think he's banking on the rest of NATO going, this isn't worth World War III over. Let him have Lithuania. And then he'd do one at a time. Let him have Lithuania. Okay, 2 years later, now he wants Estonia. Let him have it. Now he wants Latvia. And that's what
How
he's
old is
banking
Putin?
on. I'll bet he's 75.
Yeah, so he doesn't have too much time. There were talks about him having cancer at one point.
There's always talks about his health not being good, and I've never seen any true evidence of it.
He's 73.
73? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see that Cambodia and Thailand are going at it again?
Yeah, Trump's trying to broker a peace deal, which would be his ninth war that he's stopped.
Oh, he didn't stop that one earlier?
No, he's working on that one, though.
He's not counting that one? Okay.
I
was
don't
gonna
think
ask.
so. That might be one of the 8. I'm not sure, but I know he's currently he's got people working on that one.
I think he claims that as one of his 8 already,
He might.
but it didn't work out apparently. But Thailand hit a Chinese company, and now China's getting involved, and they're starting to fund Cambodia like we're funding Ukraine.
Yeah, proxy wars, man. It's all about proxy wars, which all the alliances over there in like the Asian Pacific area, like I don't even want to pretend like I know who's on what side of there. It's really complicated. Who like anyhow, I don't want to act like I know.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
anyhow, I got one thing left tonight, and it's the economy, and it's gonna take a minute. So if you got anything you want to get to, feel free, man.
We've got a couple things.
Okay, what you got?
So I want you to watch this video. Go to rollback.
We're going to also give the tractor companies, John Deere and all of the companies that make the equipment, we're going to take off a lot of the environmental restrictions that they have on machinery. It's ridiculous. I know because I buy a lot of that machinery for different things. We have a lot of big clubs with, hundreds, thousands of acres. And I buy a lot of stuff, and you buy it, it's got so much equipment on it for the environmental, it doesn't do anything, except it makes the equipment much more expensive and much more complicated to work, and it's not as good as the old days. And we're going to take a lot of that nonsense off of the equipment, which is going to reduce, and we're going to do it, and we're going to say you're going to reduce the prices. We're not going to do it, and they're not going to reduce. They're going to have to reduce their prices because farming equipment has gotten too expensive.
Yeah, those EPA standards. They're just making things more expensive. They're not doing anything to help the environment, so I don't know why we would keep them. That's
I know.
what Republicans say.
what are we doing? Why? There's a reason we have the EPA is to kind of to keep Americans healthy, right?
Yeah, protect the environment and
Yeah,
humans.
protect the
Yeah.
environment and which inevitably protects us. And they
Yeah.
just keep rolling this back. We've got all these PFAS going back into our food. We've
He
got Bill Gates spraying all of our fruits and vegetables with PFAS now.
he also announced that he's doing away with automobile emission standards, which he says is going to drive the price of cars down. It'll also make cars less fuel efficient and like really weird. In Texas, when I lived there, whenever you went and got your state inspection, which you had to do like every 2 years,
Hmm.
part of that inspection test is they would stick some device in your tailpipe and turn
Yeah.
your car on, and it would make sure you're not polluting too much. And
Yeah.
when I got to Oklahoma, there is no such thing as state inspections. And I was just like, wait, hold on. How do we make sure that nobody's driving an old shitty car that's polluting? And it's like, yeah, we don't care. And okay, cool. We
Of
just don't
course.
care. So now I know that.
Oh, all right. On the environment, I have one more. I think we talked about Chernobyl the other day, didn't we?
No, I don't remember talking about Chernobyl
Okay.
recently.
So have you heard that there it was in February, somebody flew a drone into we built like this what do they call it? We built like this big hangar. It looks like a airplane hangar. We built
Okay.
it over the major site in Chernobyl, and we sealed it off so that the toxins would leak out of it into the atmosphere.
Which right now, Russia, I believe, controls Chernobyl, I think.
It's you. Oh, so it was in Ukraine, right?
Yeah, it's in Ukraine, but I think
Okay.
that's part of the land because there was a firefight. This was like a year and a half ago, but when Russia took over Chernobyl, there was a firefight and Russia was like shooting at Chernobyl and the Ukrainian forces ended up like giving it up because they were like, "Are you fucking crazy? You're shooting at a nuclear reactor." So they ended up stopping the fight and giving it up so that there wouldn't be some kind of nuclear catastrophe.
Yeah, so Ukraine's blaming Russia for putting a hole in the roof of this
Yeah, I mean,
building,
they attacked Chernobyl.
and Russia's saying no, it wasn't us. Anyway, something crazy's happening there. Check out this video.
Bill, a partner organization of the Clean Futures Fund, which provides care to abandoned animals in the exclusion zone. It shows 3 dogs wandering the site with an unnatural blue tint to their coats.
Oh God. So we have blue furred dogs now running around because of Chernobyl.
I'm trying to adopt one.
Oh, that dog's radioactive. Let's keep
Probably.
it over there. Yeah, and that's like so I don't know anything about nuclear really, but from what I understand, like you can't like just turn off Chernobyl and like make it safe. Like the reactor, like they have to keep it cool. So they're constantly having to keep the water pumps going and all that. Because if ever the water pumps stop for whatever reason, like at one point when Russia was attacking it, the big fear was that they were going to cut the electricity to Chernobyl, and
Mm.
that would turn off the water pumps, and then there'd be another meltdown. So that's I always hear people say, well, like really, nuclear is the cleanest form of energy, and we should have more nuclear power plants. And I agree, but like there should be a way to like unplug them, turn them off to where like there's no
Yes.
more danger. And apparently, from what like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but from what I gather, like once you build a nuclear power plant, you have to keep maintaining it forever at that point. Like I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, I think Fukushima's still polluting into the ocean, isn't it?
I believe so. That was a fun meltdown.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I feel like at this point in time, we would have better technology to actually block it off. I don't know how you do that. Build a giant cement container around it, let it explode or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I like I said, I know with Chernobyl, they have to keep those pumps running. Like if they don't, it'll be a catastrophe for like not just Ukraine, but for like that area of the continent. So
Don't we have
yeah,
nuclear powered submarines?
we do.
So then what happens if those things get blown up?
I don't know.
It just kills all the fish
I
in
have
the
no clue. I
ocean?
mean, I remember there's videos of us testing nuclear bombs underwater. So I'd imagine there'd just be a huge underwater explosion, I guess.
And contamination.
Yeah, I mean, our aircraft carriers are nuclear powered.
Mm.
So, I mean, if one of those got hit by a hypersonic missile,
It's
I
just
don't know. I don't know if it'd be a
well,
nuclear explosion or what.
well, Chernobyl, like when it blew up, like everything downwind from that. All of Europe,
So,
even America got hit with nuclear radioactive
Well, and
Wait,
Chernobyl didn't blow up. It started to melt down.
right.
There's videos because Russia, so Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union. And when the first trouble started being spotted at Chernobyl, like Russia was just sending people in to figure out what was going on. And it was a huge cover up where people were like getting radiation poisoning and dying, but they kept sending more people in to figure out what was going on. And they didn't, that was the first meltdown over there. So they didn't know that the radiation would kill people. So it was the Russian, or I guess it was the Soviet Union government, tried to cover up Chernobyl for a while. And I believe a country outside of the Soviet Union started picking up like radiation in the atmosphere. And that's when kind of everybody was like, what's going on here? And Russia had to admit that they had a meltdown, but they tried to hide it from the rest of the world for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. On a lighter note, did you see we're curing cancer?
We are?
Yeah.
I know that.
Go
Real quick,
ahead.
I always see that like, oh, we were really close to a cure for cancer, but then Trump cut the funding. And like, it's fun as a Democrat to be able to be like, oh, we almost cured cancer and Trump stopped it. But also, like, were we really close? Like, I never know. It's like, I don't know if I can trust. Like, were we
Well,
close?
all of that did happen, but apparently it's a vaccine. So we'll see what happens with this.
Okay.
Check out video cancer.
Size-fits-all vaccine that showed promise at preventing pancreatic cancer from coming back. The new clinical trial results were published yesterday. Pancreatic cancer, we know, is a major concern because its 5-year survival rate is only about 13%, and up to 80% of those cancers have a high potential to come back. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar is here to break down the results of this trial for us. And I feel like the word game changer was made for this sort of a story. We know that this particular trial was made up of about 20 people with pancreatic cancer, 5 people with colorectal cancer. They all had standard treatment, chemo, surgery, in many cases. They received 6 priming doses of this experimental vaccine. So walk us through the trial's timeline here and what these results show.
Yeah, so what this trial was really looking at was whether or not giving patients who, as you said, underwent standard of care, chemotherapy and surgery, if they were administered this cancer vaccine, could this help to prevent recurrence and extend recurrence-free survival? And that's in fact what they found. You already told our viewers that the pretty dismal statistics for pancreatic cancer. And what they found is that the individuals who received the cancer vaccine, about 85% of them did mount the expected immune response that we wanted to see, and about 2/3 of them had such a robust immune response that was still detected months after they were administered this therapy. They extended their cancer-free survival to about 29 months. It was pretty amazing.
That's exciting. I read something the other day too that like the mRNA technology, like they figured out a way, I think it had to do with breast cancer, and it was some kind of mRNA shot was killing breast cancer lymph nodes.
I think with that video, I only showed the pancreatic cancer, but they're saying that it's curing multiple cancers.
Be awesome. So just the other night, do you know the name Jim Valvano? Coach V? Does that ring a bell at all?
That rings a bell.
Okay, so he was the coach for I think it was North Carolina State back in the 80s, and they had a Cinderella run through the NCAA tournament basketball wise, and they won. It was a big deal. But he went on. He got cancer, and he delivered some of the best speeches ever. And they have ESPN does 30 for 30s. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those. Really good ones. The best one is on Coach V, and it's called like Fight and Survive or something, Advance and Survive or something along those lines. But I watched that just the other night, and right before he died, he won. It was like the first ever ESPYs, and he got on stage and he knew he was about to die, and he gave this long speech about, like he might not win this fight, but like he's going to make sure that basically he wins it in the future. I can't remember how he worded it, but like that's why he started the Coach V Foundation, and he wants to fight on. Basically, he wants to find a way to beat cancer and this and that. And I was watching it just 2 nights ago, and I was just like, you know what? Like we've been trying. Like cancer has been an issue. I don't know for how many years, but that was the 80s, or I guess early 90s. And like with all the medical advancements, how have we not figured out how to stop cancer yet? Like just this last weekend, I was in Texas and I'm hanging out with a friend that that's battling cancer right now. And, it's fingers crossed. Things don't look great. I mean, it's one of those where it's not looking good. But it's like, it's fucking ridiculous that we've been trying to find a I say it's fucking ridiculous. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how hard this shit is, but it's like we've been trying to find a way to beat cancer for I don't know how long at this point, and we're figuring out how to do all. We can give 90-year-olds erections that last for days.
Right.
Like let's stop putting money into that and let's focus on cancer for a little bit. I'm thrilled to see that breakthroughs are happening. I hope all these actually come to fruition. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy that, I mean, we've probably had cancer for forever, right?
Yeah.
We just used to call it natural causes or whatever.
Probably, yeah. At a certain point, they probably identified that, oh, there's cancerous cells here.
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but
Yeah. Yep. So, well, that was a little bit of good news that I had.
good.
You wanted to go through the economy?
Oh man, I'm ready for the economy.
I want to end with robots.
Okay, let's hit the economy real quick. So first of all, Jerome Powell, chair of the Fed, he did come out and do a 0.25% rate cut on interest rates the other day. During his speech, he said that the jobs market doesn't look good, inflation's ticking back up. Like he really is afraid to even do this rate because if you cut rates, it's going to cause it's one of those where it's a double-edged sword. If you cut rates, it's going to cause inflation to go back up, but it's hopefully going to help the job market. So it's going to help one and hurt the other.
How does he know that the job market doesn't look good and inflation is up? Because we haven't had numbers since what?
September is the last numbers we had.
Okay.
And he's relying on the I think it's called the ADA number, not ADA. ADP, the ADP numbers, which is like not the government. It's an organization outside the government. But he even said that he thinks those numbers are wrong and we're losing more jobs than we think we are. I'm going to let Jerome Powell talk for a second here. I took 2 clips of him and smashed them together. So here's a little Jerome Powell talking.
Total PCE prices rose 2.8% over the 12 months ending in September, and excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices also rose 2.8%. These readings are higher than earlier in the year as inflation for goods has picked up, reflecting the effects of tariffs. Why did we move today? I would say point to a couple things. First of all, gradual cooling in the labor market has continued. Unemployment is now up 0.3 from June through September. Payroll jobs averaging 40,000 per month since April. We think there's an overstatement in these numbers by about 60,000, so that would be negative 20,000 per month.
So what was interesting is as he was saying, we're cutting rates, but we're doing it because the economy is not doing well. And as he was saying that, the stock market ticker's on the right side, and the stock market is just going up and up and up and up and up. Yeah. And people are so excited. But it's like, are you listening to what he's saying? He's saying the economy's in poor health right now, and that's why we're cutting rates. They don't care. So
No. It's because 90% of the stock market is owned by the 1%.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, and they make money when the stock market crashes. So they're excited about rate cuts because they're going to make money from that. But then when the economy crashes, they're going to make way more money from that because they consolidate and they buy up all these small businesses that are going out of business.
That's extra scary, but
it's super scary.
So Trump's back on the rally tour. Okay, so they did the first stop in Trump's affordability tour. They're calling it the affordability tour. The White House is. They told him. I
thought we weren't supposed to talk about affordability. It's a Democratic hoax.
They told him specifically, according to insiders, they told him not to make fun of affordability, not to say it's a hoax. We're going to talk about affordability. Mamdani just did it, and it worked great. We're going to be the party of affordability. I didn't pull any clips from this rally because there was too many good ones, and I got too much other stuff. I will say this. There were 700 people at this rally. It was in a small venue, 700 people. He kept saying stuff where he was expecting the crowd to go nuts, where he was like, yeah, she's from Somalia. And he would like wait for them to be like, boo, or whatever. And like just it kind of, the room was flat. Like there wasn't a lot of energy. And you could tell he'd say a thing and kind of wait on the crowd, and the crowd would never do anything. And but he couldn't help himself. He was like, I'm not supposed to make fun of affordability anymore, but this is ridiculous. It's a hoax, blah, blah, blah. And flat out said all the stuff. And even I was watching certain Republicans afterward were saying like, Democrats are going to clip different parts of the speech and use it in every ad for the midterms because he was just giving them ammunition. Fox tried to do cleanup the next morning. Brian Kilmeade, he's the guy, just for the record, Brian Kilmeade's the guy that said that we should be euthanizing the homeless people. I don't know if you remember that from a couple months
Yeah,
ago.
I do.
So Brian Kilmeade is trying to be the Trump whisperer here, and he said, we know Trump. Trump said this, but what he means is this. Let Brian Kilmeade explain real quick. Here you go.
Said it was the way if you know President Trump, and most everybody in the country does, what he's saying is blaming me for the affordability is the hoax. He wasn't saying things aren't affordable or the American people, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, don't feel as though the grocery prices are high and electricity is a challenge. He's saying, really? You're blaming me after you had your rescue package, which we didn't need, the Inflation Reduction Act that didn't work, the infrastructure deal that was jammed down our throats, which was a green agenda, which we didn't need. So he's saying, now you're blaming me for the bill you ran up. But he got the job. He's got it for 10 months. And this is what people are saying, right?
So, and a couple points with what Kilmeade just said there. He said the American Rescue Act and the Infrastructure Act, they clearly didn't do anything to help. A lot of economists would say, because remember, the world went through inflation at the same time. America handled it better than every other developed country. Our inflation, we did a pretty good job with. And a lot of economists would say it was because of the American Rescue Act, the infrastructure deal, all that is the reason our inflation never got as high as everybody else's inflation. Fox News clearly doesn't buy that, whatever. But what he's saying there is Trump understands the economy's not good, but it's their fault. That's what the hoax is the hoax that the Democrats are trying to blame Trump. It's clearly not Trump's fault. Trump's going to fix it. He knows it's bad. He's not trying to say it's not. That's the point Kilmeade was trying to make. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Trump, I think that same day, an interview comes out with Trump where somebody flat out asked him how he would grade himself on the economy. Check out this clip.
Are pretty good.
But I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home, and I wonder what grade you would give
A
your
plus.
economy. A plus.
Yeah, A plus 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 plus.
Well, it's interesting.
A plus 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 plus. He's doing a great job. The economy is doing fantastic.
We just did a rate cut.
Dude, as much as people try to help him, he refuses. He's like, no, I got this. The economy's doing great. What's funny is he's doing the exact same thing Biden did. Yeah. Like, you would think they would have learned.
But Biden had a reason because we were actually on a better trajectory. We're going up. Our economy was actually sliding up. His is sliding down.
All Biden had to do was say, hey, I know that you're hurting. I know that things are too expensive, and I know that people are having trouble making ends meet, and we are still working on it. Our work here is not done. We're trying every day to continue to make the economy better. He never said shit like that. He kept coming out and trying to say the economy's doing good. And there were certain numbers you could cherry pick and look at and say, oh yeah, no, this is doing better. If people are hurting, if
just the stock market. That's it.
Well, the stock market was doing good, and what he was pointing at was, look, inflation's coming down. Inflation's better than the other civilized countries, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if Americans are feeling the pinch. Just say you understand and you're trying to fix it. That's all you got to say. That's an easy politician response there. I hear you. I understand what you're going through. I am working to fix this for you. Just say that. It would have been fine. Biden couldn't do it. Trump is now in the exact same situation, and he refuses to say things are not good. I'm going to work on it and make it better. That's all he has to say. If he just said that, he'd be fine. He's not going to say it.
So, most economies, especially there's a lot of economies that are tied to the United States. Mm-hmm. And when we lower interest rates, they lower interest rates. Mm-hmm. But right now, Canada and there was one other one are considering raising interest rates on their next federal.
With inflation ticking up, and it's not just ticking up in America, it's ticking up all around. Because you just said, it's a global economy. This whole, the Republicans call people a globalist and this and that. Dude, that's the reality of where we're at. Our economy is tied to Europe's and China's economy. There's all kinds of fears right now that Japan's economy is going to crater. That supposedly is going to happen here in the next 3 weeks, supposedly. If that happens, our economy is going to get hit by that. We're not going to crater as much as them, but it'll have an effect on Wall Street. It'll have an effect on everything, inflation, you name it. And to try to act like our economies are individual and they don't play off each other is freaking ridiculous. So,
right. Which is why the tariffs that he's put in place are freaking ridiculous.
He doesn't realize that if you hurt other countries, that's also going to de facto hurt America in the long run. He doesn't realize that. What is the whole rising boat or rising tide lifts all ships or something like that? Yeah, that's the theory that all economists agree works, but not for Trump. So
But it's weird that we've kind of decoupled from like Canada, who's about to raise their interest rates, as opposed to us who just lowered them.
Yep.
So their economy is doing better than ours at this point.
I don't believe it. I think there are issues with the Canadian economy. I read something about it like a week ago, but I can't remember anything about it. But like there's some warning signs for their economy, and they're probably raising interest rates to get ahead of that. Is what they're probably doing.
Okay.
So, and what Trump's going to do, because Jerome Powell, the guy we just listened to a minute ago, his term is up in May, and Trump is immediately going to replace him with probably Kevin Hassett, is who it's probably going to be, but somebody who's going to instantly come in and do whatever Trump says. And the whole thing is it's supposed to be an independent Fed. Like that's the system was designed to where the Fed is independent. It appears, and we're going to talk a lot more about this next time because I got to do some reading on it. But just tonight, the Fed apparently has control over how they operate, and they passed all kinds of new deals tonight that they basically Trump-proofed the Fed, is what people are saying. And I'm not, like I said, I saw this tonight an hour ago, and I didn't get a chance to really look into it. But they voted on a bunch of stuff to where Trump, once Powell is gone, Trump's not going to be able to come in and just order rate cuts, like supposedly. I want to read it all to see if they truly did Trump-proof it or not. That was their goal, is to make it where he can't come in and torpedo the economy by taking control of the Fed. We'll see. The other thing I got on the economy, Trump and Carolyn Levitt and his whole administration, Scott Bessent, they keep saying, "Oh, inflation's coming down. Inflation has been ticking down. Trump has fixed inflation." Trump is saying that there is no inflation. And everybody keeps pointing. The last month where we have inflation was September. That's the last month we have numbers on, and it was 3%. When Trump took over from Biden, it was 2.9 in January. And the first couple months of Trump, it ticked down to like 2.5 or 2.3 or something like that. And then the tariffs came in, and it's been going back up ever since. So he took it over at 2.9. Last month we know about was 3%, so it's slightly raised, okay? It's about flat. So you could say it's flat, but you can't say that he solved it by any means.
No.
They keep trying to say that he's bringing inflation down. What are they looking at? What numbers, you might ask?
No numbers.
Nope. Carolyn Levitt let the cat out of the bag, and now we know what numbers they're looking at here, okay? Check out this clip from your favorite person, Carolyn Levitt. Levitt.
First, very quickly clarifying Caitlin's question. You acknowledged that CPI in January when you took office was 3%, and in September, the last month for which we have data, it was also 3%. So inflation.
No, it's 2.5%.
Not in September, it was 3%.
It's 2.5%. The average CPI right now, I have it in front of me. In President Trump's first 8 months in office, inflation as measured by the overall consumer price index has slowed to a 2.5 average pace. This is down from the 2.9% inherited in January.
So January is 1 month.
Back.
Can I ask you about the AC?
Was a year ago, as you know, and grocery prices have been up. So we've covered the economy, but there's mixed signals in terms of what that looks like. But on inflation is down from where it was. As measured by the overall CPI, it has slowed to an average 2.5% pace. This is down from what the president inherited. The president inherited 2.9% in January. Today, it's at about 2.5%. So we're trending in the right direction with more to come. And I would remind you, when President Trump left office in his first term, inflation was 1.7%.
So did you catch what she did there? Did you catch it? She said over Trump's first 8 months, the average is 2.5. It was 2.9 for the month of January, but if you average out Trump's first 8 months, it's 2.5. She kept saying the average is 2.5. And then at one point she said that it's tricking in, it's tickle. What did she say? It's heading in the right direction. I can't remember how she said it, but it's heading. No, it's not. It actually went down, and then since then, it's been going back up every month. Yeah. The rumor is that October, November was bad because he's not releasing those numbers. If they were anywhere near good, he would have released them, but they just said they're not releasing that at all.
This is something that needs to go through Congress, and it has to be like a mandate that the numbers be released. It shouldn't be through the president's office. It should be through an independent source, and it should be released.
They're trying to say it's because of the shutdown, but apparently the different institutions that do those studies have said, no, we have all the data. We could easily release it. And Trump's like, no. we don't have the data. Shut down. That's the Democrats' fault. We don't have the data. And they're like, no. We have it. We could easily do it. We have it right here. But he doesn't want to do it. So that's what they've been saying is the average over the first 10 months of Trump is 2.5, because we did have those couple months in the spring before the tariffs where it went down. So the average is 2.5. And in January under Biden, it was 2.9. Our average is 2.5. So therefore it is lower. That's what she's trying to say. You know? little tricky there, huh?
Interesting.
Caitlin Collins flat out said, like she said, she said it was 3% in January. It's actually 2.9, but she said it was 3% in January and it's 3% now. And Carolyn Levitt said, no, it's 2.5 now based off the average. So that's where they're getting it. So yeah.
Well, we need to see what the other numbers are that they haven't released.
Well, they're bullshitting on the other numbers too, though. And this is the last video I have on the economy. But what Kevin Hassett and Scott Bessent keep going on shows and trying to say is that, well, real wages are growing and outpacing inflation. So really, you have more purchasing power than you did under Biden because your wages have gone up more than inflation has gone up. That's the argument they're trying to make. Okay. And apparently, if you look at the number as a whole, there's truth to that. Overall, if you average out all Americans. Now, a couple different economists, and this is the video we're about to watch on CNN. Apparently, the people in the very top income brackets have been making buku money. So they're weighing heavily on the average. The middle class and the lower class are actually, their wages are not keeping up with inflation. Let this guy say it because he's going to say it better than me. But check this out from CNN.
That's not the case for the rest of the country. These numbers are from Bank of America, and they show that while inflation is at 3%, middle-income households, their pay as of November was only up by 2.3%, so trailing the rate of inflation. And it's even worse for low-income households, where their pay is only up 1.4%. So that's less than half the pace of inflation. So for a lot of people, if it feels like they can't keep up with higher prices, it's because they literally can't, at least according to this research. And all of that does help explain some of the sentiment around the economy, right? Consumer confidence is very low, near all-time lows. And this poll from Gallup shows that just 27% of Americans say the economy is getting better. That's down from the prior month. In fact, this is the lowest level in about a year and a half. Far more, Brianna, say that the economy is getting worse.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
Not at all. Numbers aren't looking at the economy is definitely not. And here's the thing: there's not just a switch you can flip and make the economy better. Like, and there's not a. If there was a for sure playbook, like inflation's going up, here are the things you do that always work. No, there's different circumstances all the time. So you're guessing. You're taking educated guesses and trying to do things to bring the inflation down. The one thing you can't do is just ignore the inflation, which that appears to be what Trump's strategy is, to just ignore it and it will go away. That's not going to work. So, yeah. So anyhow, every time you hear one of those idiots,
we should pitch Trump. We should be like, hey, let's put you on the ballot as president in 2028 and 2026.
Okay.
And if you win, you get to be president for life. But if you lose, you got to step down immediately.
That's too scary. Plus, how much longer could Trump possibly live?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
It's win-win. It's a win-win.
Okay. Guy, I like your idea there. So anyhow, that's all I got on the economy. I got one more video I want to sneak in before we talk robots, if you don't mind. This was just funny. Today, Kristi Noem was in front of the Senate, I believe. Or no, I think it might have been the House. Yeah, she was in front of one of them. And it was her, one of the deputy directors of the FBI, and somebody else. I can't remember who.
I heard she got shellacked.
So she took a bit of a beating. And at one point, she just got up and left. She was like, I have a meeting, a previously scheduled FEMA meeting that I have to go to. So bye. And got up and left. They still had questions for her. It turns out also, they found out right after she left that the meeting she said she had to go to actually got canceled yesterday. But she lied and said she had to go to it just to get out of there. So it didn't go well for her. But one of the other guys that were there, this guy works for the FBI, and I don't know what his official title is. I'm going to say deputy director or something. But Benny, I think his name is Benny Thompson, and he's the Democrat head of this committee. I don't love this guy, but he did a really good job with his line of questioning today. He had some questions about Antifa. Check this out real quick.
Organizations, number one, number two, threat to the homeland at this point.
Can you please clarify, like organizations?
Any domestic terrorist organization that poses a threat to the homeland as we speak.
I'd say the first one, President Trump had just announced executive order domestic terrorist organization, Antifa. That's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What does the FBI say?
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing. Right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States does Antifa exist? If it's a terrorist organization, and you've identified it as number one.
We are building out the infrastructure right now.
So what does that mean? We're trying to get the information. You say Antifa is a terrorist organization. Tell us as a committee, how did you come to that? Where do they exist? How many members do they have in the United States as of right now?
Well, that's very fluid. It's ongoing for us to understand that. The same, no different than Al Qaeda and ISIS.
No, I don't want you. I'll ask one question, sir. I just want you to tell us. If you said Antifa is the number one domestic terrorist organization operating in the United States, I just need to know where they are, how many people. I don't want a name. I don't want anything like that. Just how many people have you identified with the FBI that Antifa is made of?
Well, the investigations are active.
So you wouldn't come to this committee and say something you can't prove, I know. I know you wouldn't do that. But you did.
Who was that?
The guy testifying?
Yeah.
He's with the FBI. Like I said, I don't know what his role is.
I haven't seen one motherfucker that Trump appointed be able to actually answer questions honestly and truthfully in any hearing.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. I thought
not one of them.
Benny Johnson, or it's not Benny Johnson, sorry, Benny Thompson, the guy asking the questions there, thought he did a real good job. He stayed calm. He didn't try to argue. Tell me, I'm asking, where's the headquarters? How many members they got? This is a domestic terrorist organization. What can you tell me about them? Nothing?
You've had 9 months to dig into this terrorist organization and you don't have any information on them?
You don't even know where their headquarters is. I don't know. I got a kick. I was watching that live and I got a kick out of that. So anyhow.
Dude, that was good. Yeah. No. Great interrogation. But yeah, it drives me insane that they go to these hearings and they don't answer a fucking thing. It just drives me insane, man.
Well, and I'm going to try to figure out who that guy.
There should be some sort of like rule where they have to actually answer questions, give information, answer questions, not piddle paddle around, because they keep doing that. They try and like give some weird answer that doesn't answer the question.
Well, and real quick, that guy was FBI Operations Director Michael Glasheen. Is what his name is.
Operations Director for the FBI?
FBI Operations Director, Michael Glasheen.
You'd think he would have information.
Oh, you would think. Well, here's the thing, though. I got to say, I think that should be a blueprint right there, because every time, and the Republicans and the Democrats both do it, it's so stupid. These hearings turn into a waste of time, because everybody wants to be a soundbite on either Fox or MSNBC or whatever, and they spend their time like berating the person, and they ask them questions, and they don't really even want an answer. They're making a speech, is basically what they're doing. And like I said, both sides do it. It's annoying. I like this tactic way better. Be calm, ask them questions, and let it be evident to anybody watching how ill-prepared or how dumb, whatever you want to say. But like that worked out way better than if he'd sit up there and berated that guy the whole time.
I feel like the Democrats have been doing that for a while. Like that's the most of them that I see are like that, unless it's a Republican, and then I see the soundbite thing on the Republican.
The ones I see from the Democrats are they ask him a question, and then when they try to like spin it and not really answer the question, they start getting loud and like, no, 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 you said, and they're doing a lot of finger pointing and they're getting real animated. Stop that. Be real calm. Give them time. Excuse me, hold on, wait, I couldn't hear you. What did you say? Like
The problem is they don't have a lot of time.
I don't know. That guy used his time pretty effectively there.
He
Benny
used it
Thompson,
effectively, yes.
he did. So I liked that compared to the other. I don't know if the right word is grandstanding or whatever it would be, but I thought that was pretty slick on his part there. So good on him.
That was good. And I've seen a lot of Democrats do that actually.
Well, next time you see one, point it out to me because I don't see it I watch all these hearings. I rarely see one where I'm like, oh, that was a good line of questioning. Like that doesn't normally happen.
Well, I feel like Jasmine Crockett's a really good one, and she has a really good line of questioning. She's probably just very loud and boisterous a lot.
She's a former lawyer, and
Yeah.
so is there's a guy, Dan Goldman, out of New York. I don't necessarily care for him, but he's a lawyer as well. And like you can tell the ones that are lawyers because they come in with a prepared line of questioning to get to a certain point. Like they have a goal of where they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Others come in and they're just trying to make it on TV that night. They want a clip of them yelling at whoever, Christy Noem or whoever it is. Like I said, I want to see a line of questioning that's going somewhere, or I want to see a line of questioning that exposes how ignorant the people are that are running these institutions. One or the other. I felt like he exposed the ignorance there.
Well,
So
yeah, and that's the majority of what's going on is they're just ignorant.
Yep. So yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Let's talk about robots.
All right, let's go robots, baby. So I saw this one clip about, or I heard about this one clip about Elon Musk's robot on stage not working. He had somebody else controlling the robot. And so I went down a little rabbit hole on robots today.
Okay.
Let's start with Elon's robot. Check out video Elon bot.
Hey, Optimus, what are you doing there?
Just chilling, ready to help.
Hey, Optimus, do you know where I can get a Coke?
Sorry, I don't have real-time info, but I can take you to the kitchen if you want to check for a Coke there.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Let me know if you
great.
should go.
Yes, let's do that. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's head to the kitchen.
Okay. Okay, go.
I think we need to give it a bit more room. Right now it's kind of paranoid about the space. It'll be able to walk a lot faster too.
You know, every now and then I'm worried that like we're on the verge of robots taking all of our jobs, and then I see a video like that, and I'm like, we're good for a couple of years. Like I don't know that.
At least a couple years. Elon keeps pushing these robots. He's like, robots are the future. We're gonna have robots everywhere. And just watching these robot videos is like, no, they don't have robots down at all. Most of them don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet that seems like they're on the verge of like, oh wow, that thing could take a factory job. Like I haven't seen that yet, but we'll see.
A few weeks ago, Russia put out a robot. And check out this video.
Much hyped Moscow debut of Idol, billed as Russia's first AI-powered humanoid robot, emerging to the theme song from Rocky. It managed a small wave before tumbling over. Organizers trying to...
Yeah, that went real well. Way to go, Russia.
That robot can't even stand up.
What? I don't get why we're trying to make humanoid robots. Here, follow me on this. Did you ever see those videos from Boston Dynamics a couple years ago where they had like a dog or whatever, like, and they were doing all kinds of impressive, like Boston Dynamics was making some impressive robots.
Sure.
And then we shifted. Now we want them all to be humanoid. And like, I feel like I've never seen from Tesla or any other country anything close to as cool as the Boston Dynamics robots, honestly. So,
okay, I was gonna wait until the last to share this video, but yeah, Boston Dynamics is the gold standard of robots.
Yeah,
go to gold standard.
Okay.
Standard for a humanoid robot. Atlas's dancing antics capturing hearts across the internet. With stumbles of his own. Experts say humanoid robot.
Yeah, so, and I hadn't seen that Boston Dynamics had humanoid ones yet. I'd only seen like the dogs, but I've seen some impressive videos where they're like jumping over boxes and whatnot. that seemed neat. Unless I'm going to try to say this in the most polite way I can, but unless you're making a female companion robot to satisfy men's needs,
Sure.
why does it need to be humanoid? I don't get it. Like that's
What are you
the
going to
only.
spend 20? They're $20,000.
I think that's the future. Like Sagar from Breaking Points always says that like AI, they're promising all this stuff, but really like the first use that it's going to be for is going to be for porn. Like that's where AI is going to be used, and people will probably make a lot of money off it. And I feel like robots are heading in the same direction. Like everybody wants Judy, or what was the in the Jetsons? What was the name of the robot? Was it Rose or something like that?
Yeah.
The Judy was the wife. I think the robot was Rose. But like, okay, give me a robot that'll do my house chores, like keep my house clean, and that'd be awesome. Or give me a robot that will take care of the things my wife is too tired to take care of. You can fill in the gaps. Like that's what I'm interested in. Like if you can make that robot, I think a lot of households across the country. I have a theory, real quick. Sorry for going down this road with you. I have a theory that if there were wives that took care of, or sorry, if there were robots that took care of their husband, the man's needs, I think wives would be buying them in a heartbeat. They'd be like, "Oh, thank God, you take care of my husband because I don't want to do it." I think that they, I think they'd be popular.
A robot that would like give you a blowjob and then make you a sandwich. Like
if that was on the market, my wife would be selling shit to be able to afford it. She'd be like, "Here, this will take care of you. Leave me alone for a while." Like that's.
But then I think men would just stop having wives.
No, I mean you'd still need companionship and all that. I don't know.
But I think the robot would be able to give you companion. I mean, ChatGPT is pretty good, or what is it? Gemini. Gemini's pretty good at,
I like talking to
to someone.
Gemini. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think that's realistically where the future of robots is headed. I just in my mind that's what I'm picturing. So
Men's wives. The robots are going to replace women.
yeah, that'd be. What do they call it in like in Asian culture? It's like a geisha girl or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. That's
I thought that's the white painted girls that.
Is that? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Well,
yeah.
Well, speaking of a robot that cleans the house, go to Video Neo.
The first humanoid robot housekeeper. Thank you, Neo. For $20,000, you can pre-order 1X's Neo robot now, with delivery in 2026. I think you missed a tiny spot over here. Just one little catch. There may be a human behind the curtain, pulling the robot strings. If I throw up, will the robot throw up? A company representative may need to peer into your house via Neo's camera eyes to get things done. To many people, this is crazy.
You have to be okay with this for the product to be useful.
Screw that. Everything up until the point where there's somebody sitting in a room controlling the robot looking around my house. No thanks.
No, 100%.
Up until that point, I was like, oh, this is a helpful robot. I'm all clean my house. Awesome. But yeah, no. Unless think of the jobs that could create though. Like imagine if like from your home, I would like imagine if I walked into my office and I put on my like pilot suit, whatever you want to call it, and now I'm just controlling a robot cleaning somebody else's house all day. Like that. I don't know if that's a cool job or a shitty job. I really don't know.
I don't think anybody's going to want that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want like if there's a robot in my house, but I know there's some dude probably, and let's be real, probably in like Pakistan or India or somewhere like that would be a dude controlling. No, I don't want that. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
But like, what if when you get home, like let's just say 5 o'clock, the robot cleans your house from like 2 to 5, and then you can shut it off and it goes into a closet and it stays in your closet.
Do you know how long it would take before the robots start stealing your shit? Like, no, for real. Like the people in
mailing it overseas.
Dude, the people in other countries would start going through your drawers, getting into your safe. Like, I don't trust it at all. Like, how do you vet the people that are controlling the robots?
Yeah, very true. Very true. I don't trust that at all.
Yeah. A little ridiculous.
I have one more robot video.
Okay. What do we got?
I mean, this is the whole thing. Robots, like you said, we're at least 2 years away.
Oh, we're more than 2 years. Yeah. It's like, real quick, I saw a headline the other day from 2018 where Elon Musk said humans would be on Mars by 2025. Like, we're there and we're nowhere. We haven't even sent a ship to Mars. I guess we sent a ship to Mars back in the day, but like, we're not there. So every time I hear one of these tech guys say, oh, well, we're only 5 years away, I don't buy it at all. Like, prove it. You haven't been right on anything else.
These tech bros are full of shit, just like Donald Trump is.
Yep.
They want to promise the moon. They want all your money, and they're
Mhm.
going to steal from you. And that's what's going on with this AI bubble right now. Is like we've covered on past episodes where they're just basically selling things back and forth so that it looks like
Yeah.
money's moving within the tech industry, and they're just breaking in billions of dollars.
And real quick, just while you mentioned that, you know how we said last time that Trump was going to allow Nvidia to sell its most powerful chips to China?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it at the time, but somebody pointed this out. Everybody's worried about the tech, the AI bubble popping and all that. This is a way for Trump to push that off a couple years because now Nvidia is going to actually start selling chips to somebody and actually having income come in. So we're delaying the bubble bursting by a couple years by doing this. So not still terrible idea for us to give them our most powerful chips when they're probably going to beat us to AI. But
Yeah.
if you're just Trump and you're trying to stop the bleeding from the economy and you're scared to death that there's a bubble that's about to burst, it's a great way to push that off a couple years. So that's mainly probably what he's thinking.
But that only boosts the stock market. It doesn't boost.
No, yeah, but it'll keep the stock market from crashing, which
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't help us with inflation or job numbers.
all he cares about is keeping the stock market from popping right now.
Yeah, because that's the only metric that he has to show that
Yep.
the economy's not just collapsing on itself.
Imagine if the AI bubble burst tomorrow, he'd have nothing to point at. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
All right, you ready to end this?
well, you got one more video, you said?
One more video.
Okay, what do you got?
Creepy robot.
Uh-oh.
I think that the artificial intelligence will evolve to the point where they will truly be our friends. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back.
Okay, so that girl right there, I'm going to call that robot a girl. That's not what I was envisioning when I said sex robot. That looked weird.
I was going to ask if he would let that robot give you a blowjob.
Nope.
She's like looking up at you.
That's what she just said. She will destroy humans. If she chomps down, things are not good. I wonder what the bite force is on a. Can you get a sex robot with like a minimal bite force, like pounds of jaw
teeth.
force?
No teeth.
Yeah. Man, that's scary to think about all around. Let's pray that I want the robot revolution to slow down a little bit. I don't think we should keep pressing forward with this. But it's scary. And the main thing is, and every time you listen to one of these tech billionaires talk, they talk about the defense implications of robots. And like what they're picturing is like one day we're going to send an army of robots onto the battlefield to battle the opposing side. And like, okay, yeah, that keeps our young boys and girls out of harm's way. We're not having to put our kids on the battlefield. I get it. But like also, we're now arming robots. Like, I don't like arming robots at all. That's scary. Like, let's say they take out the other side and then they just keep going and start taking out civilians. Like,
why don't we just stop going to war with other humans?
No, that's never going to happen. That's a great idea, but it's never going to happen.
World peace?
There's not going to be world peace anytime soon. At this point, we're getting further from world peace. Like we're at a point now where I think I don't want to say this, but I think we're probably a couple days away from something popping off in Venezuela. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope nothing happens.
You've said that for the last 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. I think I told you this off the show, but we had a fleet of some kind of plane. I can't remember what it's called. Some kind of strike plane, and its only job is to scramble like radar. So when we send in our bombers, we're worried about surface-to-air missiles that would come up and shoot down our bombers. So what we do is we send in like 2 or 3 bombers in with this one plane. This plane has no weapons on it, but it just has like radar jamming type stuff to makes it to where the surface-to-air missiles can't spot and blow up our bombers. And we just had a whole fleet of those arrive in like Puerto Rico, I think yesterday. And everybody's saying like that was the final chess piece that we needed to move into position to now start doing strikes on the land, which Trump keeps saying we're about to do strikes on the land. So like I might be wrong. Say maybe we're never going to do it, but at the same time, like the reason I think it is because the president keeps saying it. Like I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. Like the president keeps saying we're about to start striking the land. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're already seizing their oil tankers.
Let me say this on that real quick. When I first saw that, I was like, "Oh my God! Like, what an escalation! How crazy is this?" I'm backing off of that a little bit. Okay, We seized an oil tanker in 2014 when Obama was president off the coast of Iran. And it was we had sanctions on Iranian oil. Countries weren't supposed to be buying their oil, which, first of all, where do we get the nerve to try to tell other countries they can't buy from each other? I don't know.
Sure.
But like it's not totally uncommon that if we have an embargo on a country selling oil, that we would then seize a ship coming from that country. This ship that we seized in Venezuela or off the coast of Venezuela was unregistered and unmarked. It was moving oil between Venezuela and Cuba, which there's oil embargoes on. Like, I'm just saying, Obama did it in 14. It's not like a Democrat wouldn't have also done what happened yesterday. Like, I don't know that
I heard this was going to Iran.
No, so it was I believe it was the tanker was with a company that had ties to Iran. The oil was going to Cuba.
Cuba. Okay.
So, but there's a whole like dark fleet of oil tankers. Like right now, there's an oil embargo on Russia, and Russia's not supposed to be selling oil to anybody, but it sure as heck is. And like, if we tried to seize one of their ships, that could be an escalation and lead to war. We're not afraid of Venezuela, so we seized this one.
And Trump was asked about it. Like he was asked, "Well, what are we doing? What are we going to do with that the oil on the ship?"
I guess we're going to keep it.
I guess we're just going to keep it.
Yep. Which is what we did in 2014 when Obama seized an oil tanker off of the coast of Iran. We ended up keeping that oil. They forfeited it. We kept it. So overall, like I wish we weren't ratcheting shit up with Venezuela, but at the same time, like what Trump did with that, like it's not unheard of. Like we've done it before, and the last time we did it, a Democrat did it. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Does that make it right though?
Doesn't make it right. I'm just saying we can't be like, oh, look at Trump. Look how awful he is. That's. I don't think it's as big a deal as it was initially made out to be, is what I would say.
Okay.
So,
or maybe it's a bigger deal than we're making it out to be.
If Venezuela could do anything about it, then maybe, but it's not like we did it and now Venezuela is going to get us back. Like they can't get us back.
But I mean, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's just like you're just stealing oil from another country.
Yeah. What's scary is so Venezuela, it looks like I think Trump is hoping to just bluff his way through this. I think that he's hoping Maduro will eventually leave and we don't have to actually send in troops or bomb places. I think that's what he's hoping. And Trump bluffs a lot and he's good at it. A lot of times he uses his fucking I don't even know the right way to say it. Bombastic language and gets people to he threatens stuff.
Bombing fishermen off the coast.
But he said I think it was yesterday, he said that Colombia is going to be next. And like, really, if this was about drugs, Colombia should have been first. Like, Colombia is where all the cocaine's coming from. Like, if we really want to stop the drug trade, Colombia's.
So cocaine prices are going to skyrocket in the U.S.
Damn inflation. Yeah. But like, I'm very worried because like, he's already got Argentina. He's mad at Brazil right now because they imprisoned Bolsonaro, the former president that did his own little January 6th stuff. And like, I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm like, I think that his ultimate is he wants total control over South America. He wants every country in South America to be under the thumb of America and do what we say. And luckily, he's only got 3 years left, and I don't think he can get all that done in that amount of time. But I think that's really what his long-term plan here is, that like everything in the Americas, North and South America, he wants to be firmly under our control. So
and he's tried it with Canada and Mexico, and both of them were just like, we're not having this. So now he's going after the weaker countries.
Exactly. I think ever since the start, it seems like he just wants to expand the map. He wants to, whether it was Canada or Greenland, and now it's Venezuela and Colombia, like he wants to do something to be remembered in history for. And like, I think his first thing was like, I want to gain new territory. Like if I gain new territory, I'll be remembered throughout history as, oh yeah, we got that land because of President Trump. And I think he wants to do that. That's the only reason.
Is it still the Gulf of Mexico or is it, America?
We're the only country that calls it the Gulf of America. Every other country in the world calls it the Gulf of Mexico, but we call it the Gulf of America.
What does Google say?
I think Google and Apple Maps and all that now say it. But if you were in Mexico or Venezuela or one of those countries and you looked, it would say Gulf of Mexico.
Okay. Okay. So it depends on where you're located.
Exactly.
So we're the only ones that call it Gulf of America.
Yes. So.
Okay.
I hope that whatever Democrat wins next, I hope that's the first thing they undo on day one. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. So
yeah, it doesn't matter, and we're just like bullying. It's just bullying Mexico at this point.
Well, and it's funny, if you remember, people got real worked up about the whole like Gulf of America, he can't do that. And it's like all the other shit he's doing, like that's not he changed the name of something on a map. Leave it, I don't care. Like it's stupid, but there's other things to worry about. Let's pick our battles smartly here, and that's not anything worth really throwing a fit about.
Yeah, it's just him being a bully.
Yeah. He's an
Cry
idiot.
baby bully Trump.
Yep. Baby Billy. What are they trying to think? Baby Donnie Trump?
Baby Donnie Trump.
I like it. So, all right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, man.
All right, later, fool. Bye.
Late.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.